Thanks for staying with us for TV5 News at 9. It is time now for Medical Moments with Covenant Healthcare. Joining us this morning, we have Dr. Angela Borders Robinson. We appreciate you being here. We want to start with some basic facts about Alzheimer's that you think families need to know about.
Well, it's the most common cause of dementia. There are multiple causes for dementia, but Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause. It's a multi-stage disease, so you have the development of things called plaques and tangles in the brain, which are going to cause disruption of the nerve cells, and ultimately, as time goes on, we'll see that manifest as the clinical symptoms of Alzheimer's. It affects about 6.7 million people in the United States.
Wow.
And about 100 million people worldwide. We think that age is probably the biggest driver for Alzheimer's disease, although there are other comorbidities that can increase your risk for developing Alzheimer's disease. It's expensive. It costs about $390,000 over the lifetime for taking care of a person with Alzheimer's disease. And unfortunately, the family and caregivers are going to have a disproportionate cost of that total cost. Hispanics and African Americans have a higher risk of developing the disease.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty devastating disease.
Oh, it is. Well, can medicines improve symptoms or even maybe slow the decline in thinking?
So they don't typically improve symptoms. They can help to slow down the progression of the disease. And that's the best that we've gotten so far in terms of our treatments. We have had new treatments come to market over the last 6 to 7 years. But all of our treatments that are available at this time help to slow down the progression. So we don't have a cure.
No cure.
No
okay,
cure.
Are we getting closer in research?
We're getting closer in research. We're better understanding the pathology of the disease, which helps us get closer to better treatments and hopefully eventually a cure.
Well, we also want to ask you, what are really some unusual signs and symptoms people should watch for that could indicate a problem? Then also, what should they do if they suspect there might be some issues?
So, you know, it's a disease that's progressive, and it's slowly progressive. That amyloid deposition, those neurofibrillary tangles, they begin to accumulate in the brain up to 20 years before we even see symptoms. Some of the more milder symptoms very early on can be behavioral changes. So, for example, someone who starts to lose interest in things that they used to like to do, or you might see some personality change where they start to become maybe more agitated or irritable, which is unlike them. So those can be early signs. Even sometimes I'll have patients that will come in themselves because they know something's not quite right, but yet it's not interfering with their daily activities. So very mild onset of symptoms.
So the sooner the better?
The sooner the better. The sooner the better. These medications that we have available are best utilized early on in the disease process.
Not a lot of people like to talk about things like this or their health. I mean, it's scary to face that, but these are conversations we need to have.
These are conversations we need to have because although Alzheimer's is the most common reason why we see dementia, and about 80 to 85% of people with dementia have Alzheimer's disease, there are other reasons, and some of these reasons may be treatable. So it's very important to seek medical attention if there's concern about change in memory.
What motivates you to keep caring for these patients?
You know, I have to say I love what I do, and there's such a need to help support families and patients with this disease. And I like being there to do that.
Wonderful. Well, Dr. Angela Borders Robinson, we appreciate you being here, and we also want to let everyone know that if you'd like more information or to get in touch with Covenant Neurology, you can go to Hot Links. It's at the top of our homepage at WNEM.com, and that will get you that information you need to make that connection. Stay with us.